After months of pressure coming from the United Nations and the international community, the Saudi-led coalition reopened Yemen's port of Hodeidah. Now, the port will remain open for a month despite Houthi rebels launching a ballistic missile against Riyadh on Wednesday. The Saudi news agency PA said, and I quote, "Keen to maintain humanitarian aid to the brotherly Yemeni people, and as a result of intensified inspection measures, the coalition command announces that the Hodeidah port will remain open for humanitarian and relief supplies." Now, the port is the most important commercial port in Yemen. It is from here that most of the goods reach the poorest and the southernmost Arab countries. All ships carry fuel, food and medical supplies will be granted access. This comes as a relief for the civilian population suffering lacks of all basic amenities. A cholera epidemic infected nearly 1 million citizens, mostly children. Yemeni doctors have not been paid in a year and lack basic infrastructure and medicines. The country is also suffering from what has been defined by the United Nations one of the poorest food crises in modern history. The port of Hodeidah lies within the territory currently controlled by the Houthi rebels and had been blocked to prevent weapons to be smuggled to Houthi fighters. Saudi Arabia repeatedly accuses Iran of smuggling weapons and missiles into Yemen and to support the Houthi rebels there, who Riyadh believe to be a Saudi proxy. Joining me live on the program is our senior correspondent, Daniel Pagani. Daniel, the port is open. It might just solve a lot of problems, for example, the medical aid. Of course, the port was closed for different reasons, but this should come as a happy news for them.
It is indeed a happy news. Finally, the United Nations and also the US, to a certain extent, pressured a lot the Saudi-led coalition and Saudi Arabia in order to reopen the Hodeidah port. The Hodeidah port is located in the northwest of Yemen and is the main port of access for all the foods and medical aids in the region. Remember that the 30 million people living in Yemen are suffering of lack of, I would say, any basic amenities. Doctors have not been paid in at least 1.5 years. Half of the doctors are not able to perform basic surgeries, but let alone basic surgeries, even not able to give basic medicines because they're running out of it. There is severe malnutrition, and this is especially affecting children in Yemen. We have seen unfortunately, many pictures and videos coming from Yemen of malnourished children to the extent that they look like skeletons. So this is indeed a good news. It will be only for 1 month, but 1 month also is a long period. If the United Nations organize a convoy as soon as possible or repeated convoys, it can be of great relief for the local population in Yemen.
And Daniel, what really led to the opening of this port, because this was surrounded by major controversies, and in fact after that ballistic missile launch as well, which marks 1,000 days, how did this decision in fact take place that so early that now this port really needs to be opened?
I think multiple factors led to this decision. The United Nations really pressed a lot for this decision, put a lot of pressure on the Saudi kingdom in order to reopen this port. The United States too, which are Saudi Arabia's main ally outside the Western Asian region, put a lot of pressure. And also after the killing of the former Yemeni president Saleh, the world kind of spoke about Yemen for one entire day. All global media spoke about that. All global media focused on the Yemeni crisis. So it was literally too, at least I would say, embarrassing for the Saudi-led coalition to keep this going on, also because it's very clear that the Saudi-led coalition made it on military basis in order to prevent weapons and fighters to get smuggled and sneaked into Yemen, but the civilian population is the one suffering the most if the food does not reach the country. So all these multiple factors led to this decision, which does not come without a risk, since the port of Hodeidah is under control of the Houthi rebels.
Right, Daniel, thank you for joining us on the program and giving us those details.